Before starting today's video, I want to give a special thanks to all of the members of the channel, as well as everyone that went and followed my Instagram. I'm hoping to, by the end of the year, have 500 Instagram followers and 50 channel members. I'm going to be making exclusive IRL content on my Instagram, and then of course I'm actually going to flesh out the content which I provide to members. Please bear with me while I'm trying to figure out the way I want to do things. I'm new to how the system works, and I'm trying to find out the appropriate perks for your guys' support. Regardless, thank you, and enjoy today's video. Good evening, chat. Gather around, get your snacks, get your blankets. Today, I'm giving y'all another story time. Now, I got a decent amount of, I guess you could say, hate on my last story time. People saying, this is clearly made up, this is clearly fake, this didn't happen, you're lying for views, you're lying for money. And then, just a couple minutes ago, in Agamatsu's stream, a couple of people went out of their way to start beefing with me, insulting me, for really no reason. So, there's a lot of things I'm not gonna show, for obvious legal reasons, but here is, again, remember the fake names, here is John. This is before we went out at the pregame, getting his gun, and this is us, right before my buddy's girlfriend went back to her apartment. This was us walking to the bars. Your life might be lame. You might not do cool shit. That doesn't mean nobody else does cool shit. That doesn't mean that all of our lives are lame. So, if you could not harass me, that'd be dope. Going in today's story, though, I know you guys clicked on that title. Talking about the time that I accidentally robbed a drug lord. Now, I will say, right off the bat, I do not condone drug use. If I could go back in time, I would never have done drugs in high school. I would have never done any sort of drugs. I would never recommend it to anyone. If you're going to do it, please do it responsibly. Do it in a safe place with people you trust and use it in moderation. Okay? Now, going into the story, I did not use it in moderation. My friends and I, we were some Cheech and Chong kind of potheads. We were getting messed up a lot. And we were known because instead of just individually buying, we would all get together because we had a really good friend group that's still tight to this day. We're all still friends. I went to college with three of them. But we would get together the 8 or 9 of us, and we'd get 3 or 4 ounces at a time and just fucking house this stuff. So we were pretty out there, and I'm gonna show y'all a video. Please, this is one of the cringiest things I've ever. I shriveled up when I saw this in my camera roll, looking for the pictures for this video. I just don't flame me too bad, okay?
Hey guys, MTV Cribs here. About to check out Bajada Bit. Right, you go in. Look at that. That's Gucci. You got my tea. Cologne. You gotta have the cologne. And you open up this. Boom, retard. Good as fuck. Okay. And then here, you know that movie, Indiana Jones, and they're trying to find the Holy Grail. I found the Holy Grail. It was at my local Speedway gas station. Yeah. That's been it.
I was a mini influencer even back then. That one was rough. But every time we got high for the first time, we'd always take somebody's picture because we would invite people to come with us, and we give them that first time experience. I'll throw that up there. This was my first time ever smoking weed. I chewed on that popsicle stick because I, quote, thought it tasted good for the better part of an hour. There was not a single fucking drop of sugar on that thing. But we continued to smoke and smoke and smoke more and more and more. And eventually, it was about August. It was August, my camera roll says. And my friend and I, we would always go and we would smoke down this creek in the woods. It was just peaceful. It was nice. It was by like a cemetery, and they just had like folding chairs set up for people that were like visiting the graves of their family members. Like the chairs didn't belong to anybody. They were just like by a mausoleum. So we would just take the chairs, go and like chill by the water, eat our snacks, get high, just chat, relax, and then when we were done, we would just take the chairs back, pack everything up, and leave. So one of these days, we're going down to our spot, and there are now 5 like close to harvest pot plants just in the middle of the woods. And for those of you that are like familiar with what that's like, several thousands of dollars worth of weed just in the woods. So we did what any self-respecting 17-year-old would do. We snatched that shit up almost immediately. So if you can imagine, it's myself in the passenger seat, my friend Brandon in the driver's seat. It is probably, what the fuck even was his car? Some like shit like beat rust bucket. The thing was terrible. And then you in the back seat, because we stuffed all the plants like on the seats and on the floor, you just have weed. And these were like big plants, so they're like pressing against the windows. Like it did not look real. It looked like a clown car. And I was so terrified of what was going to happen if we got caught, because I had parents where there was no like, you're grounded. It was more like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And I don't mean a belt. I mean like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. So I made him drop me off like 3 miles away from my house, and I just walked back on the side of the road. So we're trying to like, we're scheming, right? Like this is the biggest bag ever. We're gonna make so much money. We're trying to keep these plants alive. Unfortunately, like 3 weeks later, when they're like starting to bud and things are looking good, a massive thunderstorm hits our area, and we kept them like at a quarry, like an abandoned quarry, obviously out like in the open. I mean, we couldn't fucking take them home. And when we got back, they were just like torn to pieces. There were branches all over them. Like there was no saving them. But what we found out later is that another guy we knew, Jamie, stole them from a full-on like fucking drug lord that we used to buy from years prior. Now, this guy, I never even knew his name. This dude, we just straight up called him Trap God. And we never even talked to him. It was my friend's older sister that always picked up from him, because I shit you not, one time she sucked his dick, so we got an ounce for $20. No, it was 30. It was definitely 30. But yeah, I, for the next like year, was terrified that this guy was going to find out that we were the ones that had the plants on their last nights alive, and he was going to come and fucking destroy us. Luckily, we managed to not be like put in a barrel somewhere, and everything worked out perfectly. Cheers to the New Year's.